We're starting the show that way, too. We welcome you in here. We got Tim Hasselbeck. We got Ryan Clark. Adam Schefter's with us throughout. More news to come, of course, and some rule changes that we'll get to. But, RC, where do you stand on the tush push and the idea of banning it?
Me, as I see, they're like, okay, you ban the rugby, but you can also push the runner when he gets close to the goal line. Push the runner.
The same. I just like the reality, like
back later in the draft.
Yeah, it's a good point. Look, it's funny. You look at their roster, and you need to play well if they're going to have a chance.
Yeah, just briefly, I want to commend RC on the ability to avoid tweeting something out on Adam's phones while he was in possession of them last night. That's a lot of self-control that you displayed right there, because I wouldn't have been able to avoid the temptation. All right, more on Dallas. Jerry Jones was asked about any progress in a long-term deal with Micah Parsons. This is what he said. Adam, what more can you tell us about a potential new deal for Micah Parsons?
Well, Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons were clearly discussing the parameters of something of the white smoke emanating from the Vatican just yet. And until there is, we will wait for an answer from Aaron Rodgers.
I like that Art Rooney's like, well, man, I'm hearing this. I'm like, so are we, but I don't know. When are we ever going to figure it out? We're not sure yet. When we do, Adam will tell us. And more from him throughout the show. We're just getting started on NFL Live. The G-Men acquired Russell Wilson, but are they in a potential trade? As you heard, Raheem Morris leaving the door open certainly there.
Yeah. Well, Laura, the Falcons.
Some of the NFC North coaches down at the league meetings. We're going to start with Kevin O'Connell. He addressed J.J. McCarthy as his QB1. And of course, no Sam Darnold insurance policy anymore. Hello, Adam. How comfortable is Minnesota going into the season with their current QBs?
Laura, comfortable enough that they're not willing to sign Aaron Rodgers. But yes, J.J. McCarthy is the expected starter right now in Minnesota.
All right, let's go to Green Bay, where Matt LaFleur made it clear the wins and losses don't fall solely on Jordan Love's shoulders.
Consistency in the biggest games and the biggest moments.
Let's go to Detroit next, where kind of similarly to the conversation around the Packers, Dan Campbell was asked about expectations for Jared Goff this fall. Of course, no Ben Johnson anymore. He's with the Bears now. So, Tim, how will Ben Johnson's absence affect Goff this fall?
Yeah, I think it's a really big deal because Ben Johnson.
So, kind of interesting numbers there, Tim. Does putting Caleb under center make things easier for him, you think?
It does. It's always easier when a quarterback can play. I think it's going to help Caleb, and I think it's going to help the Bears.
Ben Johnson has been highly successful with the quarterback under center, and now you pair that with Caleb Williams and his ability to use his legs in the pocket, also where to go with the ball quickly. Does he get through his progressions quickly? And when it's time to go above and beyond what the playbook says, can Caleb Williams do that and protect the football?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, and also interesting to see where they go in the draft. Let's get to some breaking. Okay, so now we're looking to May for all of this. Adam, you said something yesterday when we were waiting for more news around this, that if Roger Goodell wanted the tush push eliminated, that he could probably make that happen. What do those comments that you just heard from Goodell tell you now?
It tells me that obviously the league is taking a long, hard look at that. And if you cipher through the words, they probably did not have the support they needed to get all the votes they needed, but Roger Goodell is not done with this issue, and I think right now it would be a surprise if this play were in place at the start of the 2025 season.
The tush bush gone, y'all. That's a wrap. When Roger gets up there, back to when old freaking Ryan Clark was still playing football. That's how much this play ain't going to be around, y'all, that it's a wrap. The play is gone.
And obviously Ryan Clark will not have to worry about saying tush push any longer in the 2025 season.
Is it, guys, is it too soon for hashtag RIPTP? Should we get that going today?
No, it's right now.
It's over? Yeah.
Get it started today.
All right. RIPTP. Still ahead. I'm so sad. The Patriots have been big spenders this offseason, but have they done enough to get all things Giants? We bring in Jordan Renan, our Giants reporter. And Jordan, Dable was not the only Giant to speak this week. Fill us in on what GM Joe Shane had to say down at those league meetings.
Yeah, Joe.
That if is important, Jordan, to think if Jackson Dart could still be around. I think he's going to end up in the first round. But either way, interesting stuff from you. By the way, we will have a lot of coverage of that Colorado Pro Day with Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders coming your way Friday. It'll be on NFL Live. Thanks to Jordan. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about this situation, maybe a predicament, some would say, that the Giants are in. RC, at 3, should quarterback be an option there for them? Or would you say adding some talent around Russ to try to make this team better is the better option to go for?
Well, I think the first thing is, Laura, usually impacts the wins and losses of this team.
Yeah, and Ryan, I think a lot of times drafted people at the top without some of those skills. And you know what? It hasn't worked out. And so I think that's the hesitation. I think that's why New York does not go quarterback at the 3rd spot with Shedeur Sanders.
And Tim, following that, echoing that, if we all expect Cam Ward to go number 1, there would seem to be 2 elite prospects left on the board at that point. Abdul Carter,
just a national treasure. Now, Tim, you were a ball boy for some Parcells teams when your dad was playing. In fact, his daughter was your babysitter. So naturally, you get to go first in your Parcells thoughts.
Before I ever made it to college to play football.
I love it, Tim. That's a throwback. Go ahead, RC.
Yeah, well, for me, he was so good. He had convinced me I wanted to play for the Miami Dolphins.